It is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Pankaj Gupta, Energy Specialist at Ensavior Technologies Pvt. Ltd. Mr. Pankaj Gupta, Energy Specialist with Ensavior Technologies Pvt. Ltd. and CEO of Zero Square Energy Technologies Pvt. Ltd. Is General Secretary of global NGO SPHEEHA, working towards raising environmental awareness with an illustrious career spanning over 3 decades. He brings a wealth of expertise and experience in various fields, most notably in energy and environmental management, building services and technology, air conditioning and refrigeration, building automation, cold chain, and sustainable development services. Mr. Gupta worked earlier as Managing Director of Energy Advantage and as Country Manager at TRANE India Ltd. and has started his career as a Management Trainee with Voltas Ltd. Mr. Pankaj will present a talk on renewable energy revolution. So let's welcome Mr. Pankaj.
The topic of the today is energy transition and why we are moving from fossil fuel to renewable energy. What is the compelling reason? The compelling reason of this, as mentioned by panelists, is the limiting the temperature increase to 1.5 for bringing the calamities this climate change is causing to the world over. The greenhouse gas reduction. So these are the kind of compelling reasons for us to move from fossil fuel to green energy, clean energy. And as Mr. Subramaniam said, the landscape is too big. If we talk about even the renewable energy segment, the landscape is enormous. I am from consumption industry where building industry of air conditioning and refrigeration. The percentage of air conditioning and refrigeration in terms of energy consumption is around 60 to 70%. If any building, if you take, the energy consumption due to air conditioning is 60 to 70%. And if you see the building landscape of globally, the energy consumption by the building sector itself is close to 30 to 40%. So what are we doing to conserve energy there so that the greenhouse gas emission reduction is there? And ultimately, the objective of moving from fossil fuel industry to clean energy segment is achieved. So there are various aspects of renewable energy, and I would like to cover the recent innovation which Ensavior Technologies has launched. See the statistics of air conditioning industry. We all are living in a heat stressed world today. We all know that the way the temperature is rising, how air conditioning has becoming the necessity when earlier, if you take 15 years back, air conditioning used to be a luxury. Now it is a necessity. And this necessity is causing huge energy demand. As previous speakers have also said, it is a peak demand. The statistics was also given by Saloni about the peak demand power. Some terawatt of energy, which you just mentioned. The amount of energy required by air conditioning, which is causing greenhouse emission, is around, the statistics given by Ministry of Power is 150 million tons of CO2 is emitted by air conditioning alone in our country. So imagine the heat stress which is increasing, the way the temperatures are increasing globally, how the demand is going to be in next 10 years is a cause of concern, not only just in India, but globally. And India has launched India Cooling Action Plan as well to how we can mitigate that. So this is a very good, also, this is the air conditioning is the only industry, unfortunately, that which has not been disrupted so far. There has been a disruption in communication industry which brought down prices 10 times lower. The air conditioning industry is yet to disrupt, and the things are happening. The Ensavior Technologies has launched a very innovative product. It is a renewable energy integration into HVAC, which is heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. So what we are doing with renewable energy is we are generating electricity through solar PV panels, and thereby we are meeting the demand through clean energy. in this particular innovation which has been launched is this solar panel with which is a smaller size of 8 feet by 4 feet. The refrigerant, the gas flows from compressor side to the condenser side, and there are solar reflectors fitted inside which tracks the sun, and it heats the refrigerant to allow compressor to run in unloaded condition and save around 40% of the energy of that particular machine. So these kind of innovation is the need of the hour in renewable energy and integration segment, which allows industry to not only reduce consumption, but at the same time help meeting the peak power. You see, the peak demand during summer is a cause of concern for utilities. And if you see the culprit is majority is air conditioning in buildings. The building industry, as the temperature rises, the heat has to be cooled down and the air conditioners are on, and the air conditioner is on, the peak demand power goes up. Of course, in a world where the development has to happen, these demands, the process cooling and all those things will happen. But some things which we can control, we can always do energy efficiency, we can do some passive cooling and things like that. But there is a limit to achieve energy efficiency. Such kind of revolutionary product and services, Mr. Rahman, as he said about the battery as a service, charging as a service, and all those things are, the need, as he said, is moving from products to service orientation, where the services industry are going to provide. So cooling as a service is also a new model which has come up in air conditioning industry, which is, you take a building and they say that I am responsible for meeting your cooling demand, and I will make sure that your energy demand will not exceed this particular kilowatt consumption. So these kind of new revolutionary models are coming up and is required, where how we can reduce the consumption and dependency on the grid power by such revolutionary technologies. So what in nutshell, I would summarize my talk would be that in a process of transition, the transition is a very big term where we are seeing clean energy movement in terms of renewable energy, wind energy, hydrogen energy, and whatnot. But ultimately, we have to divide those things in a very micro level, and each domain expertise have to work towards meeting a bigger goal. So it's the parts which makes the whole. The whole industry, whole talk is going on the sustainability side, on meeting the energy efficiency goals. So each domain should look into in a very micro way that how we can really adopt those technologies, maybe come out with new innovative ideas, and implement that in whatever way we can, because the goal is to limit the temperature to 1.5 degrees is not an easy goal to achieve, and it requires macro micro policy and all those aspects. But each individual, the kind of presentation, the magazine, the EPR you are doing is a remarkable job, because ultimately the messages should go from individuals to communities to users. So unless awareness of energy efficiency and transition is not reaching to the bigger level, it will be hard to achieve the goals.
Thank you, Mr. Pankaj, for your excellent talk on renewable energy revolution.